so to speak.
Yeah, it works.
So
I'm good with that.
I think the agenda is nice because you know what everything's.
yeah, so that's the only thing to look at for going forward for y'all. And so we're kind of not doing the formal agenda, and I apologize, that it's my fault. I thought about DAC all week and then forgot that normally comes with an agenda. So I think the biggest thing for this month though is mostly the DAC bylaws. Since we got 5 out of 6, I don't know if we're gonna go 6 for 6 these days, so we're just gonna go ahead and start reviewing them. I don't think I'm missing anything from the topics of our agenda usually. No, I mean, because the only other thing we've usually talked about is the website, but that's up and going, so there's that. So when we're looking in the bylaws, so I was thinking about some of the redactions on the subcommittees, and the question that I had, I guess, would be, do we want to take that out right away? Because I know that we don't have enough people right now to necessarily have subcommittees,
Okay.
but do we want to limit that? You know what I mean? Because if we take all of that out, because I mean, depending on how the year goes, and I mean, the district's growing, there's all kinds of change, right? New principal, new superintendent, new teachers. You know, that doesn't mean that just because day one people aren't here, that people don't want to get involved necessarily. Okay, don't look at me like that, Jeff.
Well, and subcommittee members, the chairs have to be members of DAC, but everybody else can just be parents. They don't have to be part of DAC to be on
Right.
the subcommittees.
Right, they just report to DAC.
Yeah.
But I mean, especially with all the talk that we've had about like the budget and stuff like that, maybe there is people that want to join a budget subcommittee or a SAC for the school, or you know what I mean? Like there's different avenues. So crossing it off is my only concern, like, because obviously, yes, we can revise them and we can revisit them, but I mean, to be honest, are we wanting to do that? Not necessarily, right? Like,
Yeah.
kind of put them in place and then,
we can just say, okay,
Right.
now we don't have any subcommittees.
yeah.
So, got everything in place for it.
Because it doesn't mean that you have to have a subcommittee. I mean, it just opens the door. Yeah.
That was part of my questions. I think one of my questions was, because it's in here, do we have to have it, or
No,
because
so
it's-
that's the nice thing about this part, is that like, this is us. So these are things that they found to help kind of guide us and give us something to go off of, but we can make those adjustments, and it is our DAC committee. It is our, that's
I'm
for,
leaving that subcommittee part in there, though. So that way we've got it available.
you
I
want the
have
paper
no
version?
redactions in mine, which is interesting as I'm looking at your guys. I'm like, oh, okay. A lot of my questions are going to be answered. Technically, they're rejected.
Well, so that was something, so I don't know if you've seen the email that your internet died. But so one thing that Lori had sent out was some stuff that she had looked at and kind of made some notes, not necessarily that it was going to be kept, but that, as like a kind of a guidance on that. And Lori, are you still on or no?
I'm here now, yes.
Okay, so the only other thing that I was thinking about, and I meant to call you today, and y'all know I don't have my life together. So for when it comes to like the DAC shared drive,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
and the documents and stuff like that, because when I was
Yes.
looking, I noticed there's a whole bunch of people that have access to look at that. Like that.
I'm going on it. I'm on DAC right now. There's 12 people. One moment. Chelsea, Emily, Jeff, Mr. Cooper, Lindsay Lynch, Mr. Koopman, Ms. Cheeseman. Mitch Marr is a definite. He is our IT guy. It's just something we do. Ms. Booker, Mr. McNerney. He is now a consultant. If you'd like, I can remove him. And
Yeah,
then
I would say
webmaster.
the biggest thing is that it should just be the DAC members and then IT if necessary, stuff like that I get, but I don't think there should be, because part of it is us formulating stuff together, and part of
Okay.
that I've been really big on and I know I'm leaving, but you know, I've got a big mouth, so I'm gonna say it anyways, is that still that disconnect in some places. And I think that having all those extra eyes on it doesn't open it up for people to still make notes or to be as open as they might, like, you know, yes, we do
Right.
report and stuff, you know, things like that, but we report once we're ready to. I think that preparation piece needs to just be, and I don't know how y'all feel, chime in at any time, guys, but
Well, you need to have organized thoughts in order to have an accurate report. Otherwise, there's mixed messages, there's confusion.
Would you like me to remove the superintendent? I already removed Mr. McNerney.
yes, please.
Okay, I put both my accounts, assistant for the board and webmaster, because people email me with different accounts regarding DAC.
So, I don't think it should be the board assistant one. It should just be
The DAC
webmaster.
is are you sure? Because DAC is a board sanctioned committee. Do you guys want to talk and get back to me?
Yeah, we can do that and see. Yeah, we'll go through it. We'll look at that.
Okay,
It's
but
just,
yeah,
I just want to make it so that it's open to as many thoughts as possible. You know what I mean?
absolutely, and I agree with you 100%.
You know, together about might not be something we're ready to like stand on a podium and say, but if we feel like everybody that's going to be at the other end of that podium is listening to us anyways.
Oh, no one else has the board assistance information.
I know what you mean, but
Oh.
I'm saying you're looking total spectrum. Just when you open it and you see so many connections to that document, it's kind of, hold on, that's supposed to be our doc. You know, does that make sense with what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. Just tell me which role you want me to be in.
I gotcha.
And then you guys can go to the board about that also. If you don't want the board assistant, even though it's a board sanctioned thing, you guys can probably talk to the board and say, you don't feel comfortable. I don't think the board's gonna say no. I don't see them
Well, no,
saying.
I'm not necessarily worried about that either. I just want to make sure that the participation piece that we need.
But there is a checks and balances.
Well, right.
So that is the point, that the two still need to be separate, even though they're sanctioned by one another.
Yeah, that's true story. That's true story too. Especially if, you know, I mean, even when you're reading the first part of the bylaws to recommend, you know, school board priorities for spending school district money. It's just funny that that's number one and we've never been looped in on any of that. I'm just saying.
Oh, and did I ever share with you a calendar that they suggested, that CDE suggested for DAC to follow for the different events during each year? Okay, let me find that. I'll find it and send it to you tonight.
Okay.
Barring we're not leaving the house.
Well, don't worry, we won't put you on a time constraint, but I'm sure Chelsea will make a note so that we do get that calendar.
Thank you.
She likes her notes. So there was another thought I had. Who else has got some on the
So as far as budget and recommendations from teachers, asks from staff, which is part of that number one, and it's brought up in a couple of other places, how is that even being submitted? Is there a way that they can be submitted, since we're supposed to look at them, supposed to have recommendations?
So what was supposed to happen last year was documents were supposed to be handed out to teachers on what their needs were.
Staff gets documents showing what their needs are, and then we were supposed to get those reviewed.
Right, but we never got to review any of that. So, but just making sure that,
We were supposed to get them to review and then prioritize.
right. And then I think we just need to make sure that the same form is at both schools, that every, right, a district-wide form.
Is it not right now?
I don't think so, because I've asked a couple of
So
teachers.
whose responsibility would that be to get that to be more of a universal form, figure out?
Superintendent.
A superintendent.
You and Kyle are gonna be best friends.
Oh.
Make a note, Chelsea, make a note.
She's writing it down, Lori. Don't worry. I know you guys can only see me, but she's got that pen going. So I mean, I'm like, there is a lot of good stuff in here too, obviously.
Yeah, I mean,
And there's just a lot of stuff that's in here that I think we've never really got to tackle, which will be kind of, I miss all the good stuff, guys.
I think that there is a lot of great stuff in here. Like you guys get, I mean, really the DAC gets input on our evaluation as principals' performances.
Sucker.
Well, I mean, I
I'm
think
just
that
totally
that's-
kidding.
I know, right? Like, I think that that's awesome.
we're supposed to.
Wow. You're
I
supposed,
think that once we have the bylaws in place, then
There's more room to stand on to,
and I mean, the creation and enforcement of the school conduct and discipline codes. So, I mean, I think that those are things that right there.
Yeah.
That I don't think that necessarily is always, or increase in parent engagement too. I mean, I think that there's a lot of,
we've been
Wait.
trying.
I know,
yes,
right?
try.
But I think,
And I hate to interrupt again, I'm sorry, but if no one saw or Jeff was at the board meeting, he can confirm. Mr. Underwood even said as soon as this is in place, the board has to follow it. The district has to follow it.
Oh, yeah. No, we were talking about the engagement piece that, we've been trying. I would say, since Mark, you're on here,
Yeah, once
I don't
the
know that
bylaws
we've
are
ever
in
met,
place, the
but-
board has to abide by the bylaws.
yeah, but well, that and like, just like when we talk about communication, like we've been preaching it, we don't have access to anything, so can we just send some stuff out? I'm just saying.
so is it, I'm just asking then if DAC doesn't have access to certain things, do we need to change it somehow to specify what that looks like? I'm just asking.
I think we should, if we're supposed to, if that part of it is being accountable, district accountability, then there needs to be some universality and some understanding of how,
And
I think we just have to
What
figure
this
out
needs to
who
look like.
that connection piece is, like,
yeah.
more defined, because I think we talk about it, but we don't like
So
set
then-
down.
So then if this is where it's defined at, then this is where this. is
Oh,
where
okay, I
it
see what you're
gets
saying, I see what you're
defined
saying,
at.
yeah,
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
so,
And that was part of the question of, okay, how are we receiving these requests? Who's gathering them, giving them to us? How does that all happen?
So then like, let's just take this one, for example, like, okay, so let's take number 5, that was one. To consider input and recommendations from the school accountability, which we know that that's really the DAC, right?
yeah,
Of each school, of the school district, facilitate the evaluation of the performance of the school principals. Really, that would be DAC, maybe doing a survey of the teachers, right? To
Mhm.
see how principals are doing. So who does that fall on? And that would really just, so then maybe we just put by surveys and then by the whatever date, right?
Yeah, some
don't know, or is
clarification
that-
in
I'd
there.
like to avoid putting specific dates in
Okay.
there, or even.
well, yeah, because the bylaws should be
A
and I wouldn't even want-
generalization.
Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't want
But-
to put in specific methods.
Method, okay.
so,
Just in case
Or
we change
feedback,
methods
could we
someday.
do by feedback by that?
well, I think with what you're going with, I think this is what we can start using too to make better agendas. I
Use
think,
that
and that's in the agenda, you can put in there, let's do it with feedback from
for me,
staff.
if we
Let's,
will keep the bylaws general, then as a DAC, we can specify anything we want in there.
So that you're saying use the bylaws as general and then focusing on the
Exactly,
agenda.
so if the
Okay.
bylaws say that, yes, the DAC is going to be involved in the evaluation of principals, then it states that we're involved in the evaluation of principals. We then decide how we're involved in the evaluation of
Okay.
principals.
I'm cool with that. I just want us to make sure that we're covering it to where we get, that gets the,
Yeah,
especially as parents, I think you guys want that
Yeah.
voice and deserve
because my
that
biggest fear is
voice.
getting too specific in those.
Mhm.
And then we
have
get
an issue where
stuck,
it's like,
yeah.
okay, we want to do this, and it's like, well, your bylaws say that you're gonna do this.
And I totally agree.
true.
Trying to figure out if there's a way for recommendations, or it wouldn't necessarily be amendments,
One second,
cross
I'm looking.
references,
Where are you looking on cross references?
where we could put like the calendar of here's roughly our DAC schedule for the year of when certain things are going to happen.
Well-
Rough forms of when.
Well,
these
so
things
I
will
don't think
be.
that necessarily has to be in the bylaws, but if we,
No.
so like, there's the DAC page on the website, and then at
Mhm.
that point, we could here's kind of what we're looking at this year. Here's our agendas. Here's our X, Y, and Z. Because I mean, really, when you do look at a lot of other districts that are smaller, you don't see that DAC piece. You don't see, and I think when people are looking at schools too, I mean, like you wanted a smaller school district. I'm sure you're not the only person, that's going to want that. So to be able to differentiate us from, Ellicott or something like that, you can show that involvement piece. You can show that we really, minus this month where Emily sucked and didn't make an agenda, but like we are consistent the past past 2 years that we did it, we've been pretty consistent. Like, I know we didn't have charge of it for part of it, but I mean, attending and all that kind of stuff it's been pretty much there. So
Part of the question, since we don't have the school accountability committees right now per se, do we somehow reference the PTAs? Because I know we talked about this as far as a PTA versus a SAC. When we did PTO versus.
Well, PTA would be different, but your PTA members could be your SAC members.
Yeah.
So it's, we all wear 17 hats in a small district. So at that
Very
point,
least, the PTA members could be our community contacts.
Mhm.
To get input from the community.
yeah, because they're spending time in the school or, connecting with teachers or whatever that looks like. So,
Can we talk about membership really fast on Article 3?
no, there it is. Yeah.
It says there that per state law and policy AE, and a parent shall not be eligible to serve as a parent guardian category on the DAC if she or he is employed by the district.
Or as a
Or
relative.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
So
that got crossed out.
we actually, Lori actually found a stipulation in there that since we're such a small district, we don't have to abide by that.
Yeah, so I found that simple too.
Yeah.
But I still- Oh, so it's just
Oh, that's right. You were the one that sent the email. I'm so used to Lori sending all this.
a parent or guardian should not be eligible to serve. No, I know, but I was just rereading to make sure it's still right.
So we can't.
That's funny,
remove
that's
that.
redacted on your guys', it's not on mine, and that was one of my questions.
Well, I think you might have got yours after. like-
No, hers are the original email. So this is the one that came out of the shared drive. And then Lori had sent it to us for what she had done on that side. So I guess I'm thinking PTA because I was thinking about Victoria because she's employed by the district, but she's not on DAC, she's PTA.
Mhm.
Sorry, Victoria, I can't.
So wait a
Get there.
second though, does that mean that Victoria couldn't be on DAC?
If we keep that in there, it also means that I couldn't be on that.
Well, but Lindsay is a parent or guardian that's employed by the district.
She doesn't fill the parent guardian role.
Oh, yeah. Wow. But that doesn't, no, read it again. It says the membership, not that it's their chair.
The membership composition will be developed in accordance with the guidelines. And AE,
Membership.
This is just saying in general, the membership of all DAC, okay, gets approved by the board. We already do that. But the membership composition will be developed in accordance with
No,
guidelines.
that's who's in
And
membership.
don't
on that.
forget, we're a small rural district. These are your bylaws.
Well, I know that's why I don't know that I like the phrasing still of it because
Okay.
it's because like if you look at Lindsay, she is employed by the district,
Right.
but it doesn't state what role though. You know what I mean? Like it's not
Mhm.
like,
Is she secretary? I thought she was secretary.
well,
she is.
yeah, but it doesn't, but unless I'm reading it wrong, that doesn't look like it.
No, yeah,
it
that it
Feels like it's just saying if you want to join DAC, you can't if you're employed by Hanover.
or a relative that's employed. Yeah,
Well, it's just the parent guardian role that says that you can't be employed, right?
to serve in the parent guardian category.
Serving the parent guardian.
Can I share my screen real quick, Emily?
Yeah, Jeff's just been yelling at me and I wasn't coming full
I'm just
circle and I
gonna-
got it.
You want me to share my screen so we can look at this line by line here?
Well, no, I mean, you could still share it, but I'm all caught up now because I don't know why I kept skipping. I kept reading that parent guardian in the same spot. And I'm like, I know, it just says membership.
Just the one.
Can you
role.
tell me if I'm on the right page?
Oh, wait, I'm on the wrong list. I also forgot my glasses, so don't mock me while I.
Membership. Oh, membership. Okay.
Yeah.
So is it right here that you're concerned about per se law policy 8?
No, I'm good now because, again, I just can't read. That's all. Took me a second. I don't know.
So it's just the one role, but we can remove.
Right, it
that.
was the relative.
Well, I was just thinking like if you
Yeah.
have someone, because it's not, right now, DAC isn't, you're gonna have an opening, or possibly whatever.
The last thing we want to do is limit the people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you have someone, I'm not saying that Victoria does, but I'm just saying if for
Right.
whatever reason there's somebody
That would
who
want to fill that
has a
spot.
dual role, then I just think that kind of limits. Could you just put in there? Unless you're, I don't know, I mean,
I think that we can remove that clause completely from what you found. I think that we can just take that clause out of there that says. the
I've-
parent
like
guardian
the-
role can't be filled by that person.
The only thing I think that really need, like, the membership shall be approved annually by the board. I don't think that's necessarily,
At the very least, I think that we should remove the part of that where it would be a relative of somebody employed in the district. Like, I can
But I-
understand not allowing an employee in the district to fill the role,
Yes.
but not allowing a relative of an employee in the district, that's gonna cut our.
that part got taken out.
So,
Okay.
but what, it is, a slip. So like, I don't, administrator should be able to be a guardian,
I don't,
but
there's other roles that a staff member can fill in the DAC.
Can I
without being.
ask if I am supposed to be making these adjustments to the bylaws? I don't know.
no, well, Chelsea's got a whole bunch of notes too. So worst case, we, yeah.
Okay. I'm a little nervous here. I'm like, oh no, am I supposed to be following this?
No, we've just, and I mean, if you were following it, kudos to you because we have jumped back and forth 17 times.
Okay, thanks.
But that is like a slippery slope because what happens then on that DAC chair role? Jeffrey,
Chelsea.
Well, if we kept that in there, then I wouldn't be allowed to be that chair.
no, we're taking that part out. We're taking that part out. Don't worry, we got you covered.
The relative part's taken out.
Yeah, I think that we should leave in the employee part. I
Yes.
think that for the parent guardian role, it should at the very least not be an employee because there's other roles that. in
So
the
then
DAC an
that
employee can fill.
kind of takes that bias out.
So we'll
Yeah.
take the relative part out,
Mhm.
but leave the employee part in. So an employee of
Yes.
the district cannot serve the parent guardian role.
They can't head the DAC. They can, because that parent guardian role is the head of the DAC. Yeah.
So without saying an employee can't be the head, we're saying an employee can't be the head.
Oh, so I can't be the head because I fill the small business category. Ha! Loophole.
No, you're guardian. So nice try. You and Jeff can rock, paper, scissors. It's fine.
Oh, you're not.
Yeah, we were talking about it with Victoria yesterday. She even did like the thing, but you didn't come to our meeting, so whatever. Don't worry, Victoria. I'll tell her for you.
Technically, I was there at 6.
Miss Booker, did you have anything that you might want to add? I know we talked a lot.
I need a new O-ring on my.
I don't have a copy of this. I didn't know we were going over this, so I'm sorry, I'm no help tonight at all.
Miss Booker, do you go into the shared drive for DAC members?
I haven't yet, but I'm actually at home right now, so
Okay.
I can't do it from home. Whoops.
Was not
Do
ready
you
for.
li- Ms. Booker, would you like me to send you a screenshot of how to get to there? So that you do get access and you
And
can put it on any computer because we have parents on the DAC that are able to access it at home as well.
oh, okay. I didn't think I would. I didn't even try because I didn't think you could, but sure.
No worries. Okay. Just
Okay.
want to make sure you have access.
Oh, thanks. That would be great.
So
What's the
term,
parent engagement policy?
wait, which one did you go to?
I'm still on page 2B,
Just kidding.
7B. That was part of the question. I'm a parent and I didn't know there was one.
Lori, does the board have a parent engagement policy?
Yes. Oh, heavens to Betsy.
I figured. That goes off during PTA too. We don't know where it comes from.
So school district is assisted. DAC is assisting the school district in implementing the parent engagement policy adopted by the local school board. Okay, what is the parent engagement policy so that we can help assist the school board in implementing? That was more of a question new to DAC.
No, thank
Oh,
you.
thank you.
Yeah, I don't. Our current engagement policy thus far has been try and harvest. I think that's fine. So, yeah, if we could specify, or
We could offer a Corvette at the end of the year.
the board
It's a little
meeting-
bit.
I'm sorry I dropped out. I had to do a hotspot on my phone. I don't know if you heard. I'm gonna go check for that policy right now.
Okay, thank you, Lori.
Mhm.
Oh, yours, they look just like mine, sorry.
We don't steal things at DAC meetings. I'm just saying.
Sorry,
That's,
sorry,
that's not how you
Mine
get
was
parent
just like-
involvement.
So does DAC's year start in July or does it start in August?
I think they do July because that's what your guys' I think that's why it's in there. That's how your guys' contracts are, huh?
Okay.
That's why, yeah.
New to DAC, I got a bunch of questions about what DAC is more
That's
than
fine.
anything else.
Jeff and I have been in that boat for a hot minute now, so ask away. You just hang out.
The at least annually in coordination with the board cooperative determine any issues or areas that the DAC should study and then report their findings. Is that a July? Is that in August? Is this, it's annual?
So, and I think it's just a matter of what we ask too, because I've sent one that I can think of, possibly 2 emails to the board, and I've asked, what would you like us to talk about?
Yeah,
So part of that though, you don't necessarily get as much response. So it's, how do we kind of bridge that too, I think would be something to
maybe that's
look
something
at
to
for.
bring up with the superintendent as far as, hey, or is that?
Well,
directed
I
to
don't, but
whatever
I don't think it should be superintendent, to be honest. I think it should be from the board because if, I think it should come from the board because I still think there should be that those 3 separate pieces. Your
Yeah.
superintendent, your board, and your DAC.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we advise.
The board, not the
Superintendent.
Right.
Okay, so who?
And with
who
all the
on the
new-
board are we contacting when it's like, hey, guys, so
I
it's in
send
our
it to everybody.
bylaws?
I send it to everybody. So the only thing that I would suggest for sure is with, like, I sucked at sending that to you guys too. So like, I just would send it to the board and would say, hey, this is what's going on, or like, what do you have? If there's something you want to look at, or I think on the last month when I did the board recap, I sent it to you guys this time. But like every month I would send a recap of our meeting to the board and then go from there. But I think
Maybe I'm missing, okay, sorry, that makes sense.
yeah, because I think it helps because I think there's some stuff, like for me personally, that I know would frustrate me.
Yeah.
But then when I would like go to the board meeting to present, it doesn't come off the same way. You know what I mean? Because public speaking is hit or miss. But I think that's why that email recap to the board is important, because then we can get our point across of, hey, this part is not okay, or this is going really well.
Yeah. that makes
Because
sense.
I think, and I'll say it 17 more times before I go, but I think the budget piece is super important.
That still makes me mad.
And there's a lot that like can't be neglected this year. Like it just can't be a thing. And I
And,
think-
and
Go
if I
ahead.
may speak, I'm a previous DAC member from probably 5 years ago, maybe 6, 7. You guys are the first DAC that actually have, it sort of was starting when I was part of the DAC to be on the agenda, but then it went away. And so it came back. So that's fair. It's very important that you guys make sure you keep that piece
Uh,
there where you advise the board.
Elsa will for sure.
I still have questions from the last budget hearing that I never got answered.
And I found it. KB, look up policy KB, that's public engagement and internet and education.
It's on here.
So what is the
somewhere.
recourse when that doesn't happen?
That, and that's part of the question I have about. these bylaws.
Well, and I
What
think,
what
but
do
I
you do?
think part of that is not being vocal enough. Because if we're giving if based on our bylaws, if we're supposed to be giving feedback on principles and whatnot, that feedback is the same, no matter, I would say, what office it is, what the board does with it, that's on at their discretion. But I think it is important to talk about, and it is important to say, hey, we're getting the information or we're not. Because if we're not getting information, what does it look like for our teachers? If they're requesting something, are they getting information regardless of what department head that is? So, I mean, Chuck chatted with us and answered questions for us last month. Like, we learned a whole bunch of stuff that we didn't necessarily know as much about. You left us, you missed some of the good stuff, but it's okay. Just kidding. But, it's just, and having those open relationships, especially in a small district, you have to have. But I think that's why the voice this year is so important, because you have so many new pieces to the puzzle. And we wish the best with you guys, by the way. But, I mean, I'm just saying, like, you do hope for the
Oh,
best.
that's because you're leaving.
Well, if you think I'm not watching in Florida, Lori, let me tell you.
I'm glad. You better, girl.
At this point, so I got to know how the year plays out. So,
Oh, not good. Staying on is my, is it?
no, it's good for me. Shut up. So, but I mean, I think the biggest impact that DAC can have, especially this year with having bylaws in place, is just the follow-up piece, like how much. And I mean, if it's not necessarily in a public forum where, hey, we're not as comfortable when we give that recap, at least it's documented and it's here. This is what we've looked for. This is what we still haven't gotten, or this is what we looked for. And holy goodness, it was a much better year. You know what I mean? Like,
So,
no,
I'm sorry. I just thought of something. You're saying it goes in the board packet. At this moment, it does not go in the public packet, usually because I don't have it in time, but that's okay.
upload.
I didn't say anything. This is where you guys get to talk and figure this out. Do you guys want that information piece in the public packet? If so, sorry, it's got to be to me by Friday
Well,
before the board meeting.
I know last time we talked about board packets, it was always that we still get them the same time the public gets them on the Monday before.
But we
On
can-
the Monday before, but a lot.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just,
How does that work? Before to talk about things, to talk with the board.
so when I have my life together, I would do it right when I got home. I would just type it and send it, because then it was still fresh in my mind. And then that way Lori had it.
So essentially,
then
we're a month
sometimes she-
behind whatever the board had just discussed.
Ish.
Okay.
But that's why we like doing the back with the week before board, because it's still kind of in there to.
Sorry, my ums. Another option you have is previous month's board DAC meeting.
You definitely cut out. All we got was previous month's DAC meeting.
Packet. Does that make sense?
Nope, you cut out.
All we
I'm
heard-
so sorry. I'm so sorry. So, okay, hold on. So kind of like how financials work, you guys could work this way, because I know you want to talk to probably the board before. Am I still connected?
Yep.
Okay. You kind of want to talk to the board before you really like put your blurb out there. Would you like it to be in the following month's like the next month's board packet for the previous meeting?
I feel like it would be better to stick with the current meeting. because
Yeah.
That's one that we.
Okay.
discussed.
Okay, I'm just putting options out there for you guys.
So we just
Yeah.
need to make sure that we've got the notes in by. You're really good in 2 weeks. So I got 2 weeks to go. Crap, a couple of minutes.
Welcome to my world. I mean, I'm not
Eh.
asking Jeff. Would like I won't leave you high and dry.
Are Jeff and I gonna become best friends like we did?
I don't know, Jeff. I tried to be best friends with Jeff, so I wish you the best of luck, Gloria.
We're ready to move on to the next question.
Yeah, because I got one too. Go.
Okay, so section 2 of membership, article 3, section 2. DAC will be 2 years and may be renewed, and they're staggered terms. So I know in the PTA, we specified specifically X, Y, and Zs were on odd years, X, Y, and Zs were on even years. I almost feel like there should be a little bit of that clarity here is which positions, if we're staggered, so not suddenly everybody comes up and is like, oh, it's my term to be expired. Oh, crap, no. Especially if we have renewed people.
So
And here's where I don't remember what all the chairs are, so I can't even help you.
2 parent members, community member.
an administrator, secretary.
Secretary.
Business, small business owner.
That's what, yeah, he said.
And then, staff member, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
sounds right.
that's
So,
6.
2
That
parents,
was supposed to be seven.
staff.
No, it's been 6.
administrator, community member. That is it.
There's 5, 6. So administrator, 2 parents, staff, business. We just had them all. Administrator.
There's 7 administrators once.
I really like that one, apparently. Administrator, staff, parent, business,
Thought it was 3 parents.
secretary.
Then it's 3 parents, so that makes 7 because you want an odd number. In
Oh,
case
yeah,
there's,
yeah, smart pants. Okay.
sorry.
I got to 6. Okay. I was excited.
So I
Good
feel-
job, Chelsea. Good job.
Yeah, so that's the one thing I have about the section 2 is maybe we clarify that it's 2 parents and 2 other roles, and then the other 3 are the opposite year and just odd
I
even.
think at the very least, we should split parents.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not sure if there's 3 parents.
So that way, when you guys
it should
form
be
an
2 and
alliance,
1.
we're able to separate you. Is that what you're saying?
No, so that way we don't end up with no chair or co-chair all of a sudden.
I mean, that's smart too, but all right, Jeff, you want to go that way.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
So
okay, so,
clarification of that I think needs to be in here.
so we could do chair, like parent, chair, administrator, business member. 1 year, and then the second year is the other 4.
Parent, share, admin, business.
And the following year would be parent, co-chair, staff member, and
The other parent, yeah, the rest of the positions at that point, then it kind of.
Okay. So when were you guys technically put in?
technically we were just put in
We started over, yeah.
this past one. Right?
So that would have been.
Like I would
even.
be adopted. Jeff's, you're stuck with Jeff for 2 years.
We could just have-
Okay.
I know. I was like, yeah. So, because I know then we were basing on this upcoming year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that way.
No, do you want,
Well, I mean, you'd still resubmit the whole DAC, but those, well, no, it wouldn't be this year. It'd be the following year, those positions would be available for, no,
replacement, voting?
to vote, yeah, like if somebody wanted to run for,
We might have to get clarification from the board. By the board, I mean Randy.
he's just one man, one team.
No, just.
I was like, you're gonna hurt their feelings, Jeff.
If there's policy
You just
stuff,
demoted them all.
just to see, we only have to get people approved every 2 years then. If you're in for 2 years, to me, that says that you only have to get approved every 2 years. So we would have half of them approved in
1 year.
this coming June. at one
I see what
year,
you're saying.
And then the other half, so
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so you, even if everybody leaves.
'Cause then it
you can
says-
have rotation.
So the DAC will forward to board meeting. The board may add members or remove members as needed in coordination with, so that's the line I don't know how I feel about. Cause I feel like that is,
Yeah.
that I feel like that is very vague. What, I don't,
Be accountable and separate from them as a separate entity. Should they really have the right to remove a member per se?
vote on as a team or a board to approve what we're putting forth, but the ability to add and remove members, I don't think should be, I don't think that, I think that line needs to be.
The board has the ability to recommend additional members.
Yes,
I like
yes,
that.
yes, yes.
May recommend.
I was like, note that for us.
So just say no.
That's like, Colonel
power here.
Okay, so I'm just putting you in here. What do I have on?
It's been a long day. Don't feel
What are you
See, I
eating?
know better than to eat those because they're making steak and shrimp for dinner.
I'm making salmon.
That sounds good too. In the event a DAC voting representative cannot attend the meeting, and I think that is important.
Yeah.
I think that should stay in just the way it is for the board.
Have I hit my 2? I think I've hit my 2 for the rolling, whatever.
This is fresh year. You didn't really count last year. You were like half in.
No, yeah. Chrissy has my calendar, so just make sure it's on my calendar for Florida.
Like Chrissy can pencil it now. So in the event the DAC member is unable to complete their term, the DAC will nominate a replacement to be approved by the board.
Yes.
So it's already in there, guys.
Yeah.
And the board will name an ex officio member to serve.
Yeah, who is that? Who's our non-voting liaison? Ah,
But I'm confused why that's necessary, just out of curiosity. No offense, Mark. I'm just learning.
So there's only 6 of us.
So it's not voting members. So it's-
yeah.
But if there is a, I was told that if there is a,
Tiebreaker that needs to happen since we don't have our 7th member. Okay. I was looking at it, I was like, I don't understand. At first, it kind of reads like a babysitter, you know, and I was like, I'm feeling confused by that.
Okay.
So the DAC chair will be selected annually and may serve no more than 2 consecutive years. Oh, we'll see if it doesn't matter, guys, if I was moving or not, because I've been on for 2 years. I'm out. So. Oh.
Yeah, but you could have been something else besides the chair.
The term. So, okay, but why, in this one though, the term of office for the vice chair will be 1 year and may be renewed annually. Just kidding.
Well, so we probably should have voted to keep our positions.
We did, but nobody wanted to come. So there's that. Exactly.
Sorry.
And you didn't know I was going to leave you, so
No.
you just thought you were good with, but now it is just you, Jeff.
We'll bye-bye to Clara.
Wait,
The administrative
I
resource
have a
person,
bucket of
administrative
papers.
support and board liaison shall serve as non. Okay, but when you look at section 5 though, when it says the administrative resource person, administrative support and the board liaison shall serve as non-voting members.
That's a lot of people suddenly on here.
Because the administrator and this, like, I mean, Miss Booker's always been a voting member even before you were on DAC. I understand why Tim wouldn't have been, because being like that superintendent piece, yes, no, ish, you know, but
I'm okay with whatever, y'all just. I'm gonna have some more candy.
but that's 2 pieces out of. I mean, what do y'all think?
Who's your other administrative support person?
Would that be considered Miss Booker? Or is that, no, that's
Or is that
different.
Lindsay?
Lori.
Well, she's not technically a part of DAC, so she's
You have
never
a board
voted.
liaison.
No, she's not a voting member. She's non-voting members. Is that what those are? Non-voting members?
Good point.
Oh, yeah, okay. In the
So we're
event the
still good
board
now?
requests DAC.
I'd consider administrative support for doing webmaster stuff.
But what does that mean about the administrative role on DAC?
Non-voting administrative role on DAC is,
So do we stop asking Michelle to raise her hand or?
No.
you need a voting administrative representative.
Yeah, this is
Okay, well, that's
non-voting
why-
person.
That's why I'm just asking. I just want to make sure we're clear
So
on what
as-
is.
Voting administrative representative and there's a voting administrative.
So as more people join DAC, in theory, we could have
Okay.
these 3 people that are just non-voting, but listening in, putting in input.
Well, I mean, technically, anybody can come to DAC.
Yes.
Thank you, Victoria. So I'm sure she appreciates when I call her out. She can't roll
Sorry.
her eyes at me.
Sorry, I had to walk away. I could, I do your meetings. I could be your non-voting member too. I mean, right?
It's that part. It's okay.
Yeah.
We already
We
said that.
said
We already decided that you're that non-voting.
I didn't hear that, Jeff. Say that again.
Already decided that you're
I
that
know.
non-voting member for us.
Oh, I am?
You are now.
Oh, okay. Thanks for letting me know. Okay. Sorry.
You're always here anyways. We might as well give you a job.
Oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
I see what you're saying. So I know you got more notes over there. What you got?
Section 6, just like a general comment that everything felt very short notice as far as the request for DAC input recommendations. It just all felt very short notice this year. Maybe I'm just new and it felt short notice because of craziness of life, but maybe
Well,
we could have
so-
those requests a little more timely and budget things in a more timely.
All right, well, not to be a
Tanner?
jerk, but we did not get a request from the board on anything where we had to call a special meeting.
Cool.
So there's that. I
Once these are in place.
that's- I think this one thing is building that relationship with the board and get the feedback, because that's something that we didn't necessarily get.
Mhm.
Well, nothing, but I think part of it is I was not used to it in fall.
And they are now.
And they will be.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff.
I mean, we're excited. We still want to see some buckets.
Buckets,
Sorry,
buckets.
I just had to push a button for Chelsea really quick because it was fun for me.
Oh. Want my input, then let me have input.
She really likes taking some notes. It is fun. Lori, I don't know if you heard us in the beginning or not, that we decided that we weren't going to redact the subcommittees.
Okay, that's fair. It was a suggestion. You guys
It-
are, this is
And it's
your
just,
baby.
we're gonna be on the positive side, that there's gonna be more people that want to come hang out with us. So
Absolutely. And we should be on that positive side. It also means that we're growing at a very unsteady rate.
and especially when you look at the low power mode.
But we're just going to be positive. I think we're positive and just
Well,
wonderful.
It was a lot more charged than it was last month, okay? If I was smart, I would have turned it off. And then that would have saved battery, but I didn't learn from last month. So
May I ask real quick, did Jeff share about the best grant?
Jeff's looking real confused over there.
That was a long time ago, Lori. I remember it being mentioned.
At the last board meeting that we were approved.
Yes.
So, but I know they were talking about revisiting what that looks like.
Oh, is that where they wanted me to get the architect or
That's what we're
structural
talking about. Yeah,
engineer?
because Kyle had let us know that one of the things that the best grant can be used for is expansions of a school. And I don't know if y'all hang out in Midway at all, but there's houses popping up everywhere. And it's a little snug here at the elementary school. And
You guys
it-
decide whether when Lori join,
You-
if Lori's joining, if she's gonna be webmaster or board assistant, please. I need
Hold.
clarity here.
I know, I'm just saying.
What was that, Lori?
Yeah. Lori, what comment did you?
I'm sorry, I need clarity since George decided that I'm gonna be on here. Would that be as board assistant or webmaster?
I would say webmaster.
Yeah. I think
Okay,
I think webmaster is a more appropriate role.
okay, that's fair. And I like to keep my hats separated.
True story. So when they talked, 'cause I missed out again, if they talked about the best board meeting, are they talking like, are they gonna ask for are they just like, right? So that would be a good question for going forward. I know it has nothing to do with the bylaws, but you know. Just wanted to throw that out there, especially because you weren't here for best grant.
Grant stuff when we first applied for it was stuff. For it, hopefully they'll fix it.
But I think like part of it was approved, you know what I mean? Like, is there, because then there was that other, there was oh, the one word I can't think of, but anywho. So,
It sounds like they got approval for at least some stuff here. Let me say there were some, I think they're gonna get new fencing put on.
yeah, that was, because one of the concerns was all the wildlife and
I heard they actually do some fencing.
keeping people
to the-
out of the school that might not need to be here with all of the,
stuff that was discussed.
but I would really hope that you guys continue to discuss the bungalows, like, so when they're in specials and it's colder than outside and the kids have to come
Oh, yeah,
inside to go
those will
pee,
be
like,
taken care of.
what is the word I'm going for? Help me out here.
Modular.
That's the one.
I just thought I'd. help you.
Ultimately, to me, that's one of the biggest things that we have as a
Yeah.
district is having those things still out there.
Mhm.
Like, ultimately, I think that any safety stuff should prioritize this school and get the school expanded so we don't have those anymore. But
But who are we really? Just parents. It's okay. Did you have any questions on the non-redacted part on your end?
Oh, I just made a note here. Hey, October is coming quick. Like, board, please submit so we can have input on focus areas this upcoming school year. Please.
Well, if Lori sends us that calendar, I think that would kind of help. I mean, because I could probably think of 4 focus points.
Training and SAC support subcommittee. What training?
The chair should be appointed from within the DAC.
I was just curious.
So
if
is that
there's-
training like development of the teachers or development of?
I interpret it as training for DAC and the non-voting DAC members, but I could have read that wrong. And if there is training for DAC, like there is for PTA, okay, is there?
Well, round 1, we need people for the subcommittee, but
Yeah.
yeah, but I think that's a good thing. Like as it continues to expand, like what does that look like? Jeff and I winged it for 2 years. Pretty well, just saying.
Not
So
to toot your own horn.
you said you were sad I was leaving, so I will. No, I'm just kidding.
I just thought I'd hang out.
He's got some thoughts back there, though. I don't know if you've noticed, but he'll shoot them out every now and then.
Uh-huh.
But I'll wait until the other business.
Oh. Okay.
So I mean, that stuff we've already talked about.
The student achievement, who's doing that now?
The what?
Achievement accreditation subcommittee. I was just curious, since there's the nominations for, what is it, top WASP or top whatever
Ed
things.
Hornet.
There we go. I just thought I'd help you out.
You made fun of me for book.
It's a weird bug with a
Wings.
I just really thought
How
I
would
was
you- I would just put on your head.
It was super cute.
I did.
Top left. I think I'll try that. Today we're gonna do our.
Well, you have a little bit of a bully effort.
Oh my god. I was like, where's she going with that? I was trying to go full circle and I was.
There are those things already going on and they should be recognized more. So if that's supposed to be part of the DAC in a subcommittee.
ready?
in a sense,
Watch the face, watch the face. Like when we put on Dojo, we celebrate all of those wonderful things.
Do what?
That was two things. Well, Head Hornet and stuff like that. You guys,
We didn't get to really do it last year because of COVID. And I
yeah.
had to keep them in cohorts. But this year, yes, we are starting that back up.
But I don't know if you saw it, but like it was always on Dojo.
Yeah, which is why I remembered it from when my kids were in preschool because I
That's
still
what it was.
randomly saw that. So
Oh,
for the record,
man.
for PTA, I do have a connection for the little stickers, but anyway.
Oh yeah. See, I'll still buy a sticker and put it on my car in Florida, and people will be like, "Why do you travel with a wasp?"
Oh. It'd be practice.
And it does kind of look like a wasp, I'm sorry.
Because Chelsea said so.
Find a school down there that has hornets.
Challenge accepted, Jeff. I go home and tell my husband, this is the new goal.
I just
None
find
of
it funny
you-
that it's the same colors that my husband went to school with. So it's like, sweet. I guess
Five colors too.
It's all right. Maine West was blue and yellow. Dates and agenda.
Yep. The meeting dates and times will be set by the DAC chair in coordination with the DAC. How often will this be reviewed and revisited? Section,
I was like,
Seven.
well, yeah, I skipped that. We
Article
already do that,
7,
though.
section
We just did that last meeting.
1. Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Maybe if you paid more attention. I'm just
We decided that. it was
We
gonna
did.
be the
kidding. Monthly still, remember?
Yeah,
Thursday
I just wasn't sure if
prior
it needed
to
a board meeting.
board meeting,
Yes.
Instead of the second Thursday of the month, because that screws up.
Oh, no, Jeff, be careful. Not second Thursday of the month. I've already made that mistake.
Thursday prior to.
Did you guys vote on that? I couldn't remember. Was that
We
last
did.
meeting? Okay,
We-
thank you.
Notification will be by email.
I mean, we
Felt
already
like that should
do all
be
that.
highlighted.
We do that by email.
I know,
Except
I
for
thought-
this month.
I
It
know,
just
I
doesn't count, okay? Don't judge me.
I did.
I normally send out way too many emails. Who are you kidding? See? Yeah.
I'd much rather have more than less.
Well, I check my deck, like once a week.
Is
Well,
it-
8 new emails.
Does Emily have something to say today? Let's see. So changes to these bylaws may be recommended by 2/3 voting.
I feel like I
Well,
need to
see,
get
that's a good
Robert's
little-
rules.
I don't know what that is.
So Robert's, rules of order, currently using Robert's Rules of Order, the newly revised, as how we are going to run our meetings.
That's the same stuff that the board does.
Well, we do that mostly. I don't do the gavel thing very well like Randy does, but
No.
There's also books, Robert's Rule of Order books that the board used to receive. If the DAC is interested, you can request it from the board or
oh,
Yeah,
ask
they're,
somebody to.
he used to have them when I was on committees in college.
I think there might be
Yeah.
someone meeting that might be able to assist you with that.
Yeah, I could
She
use
she
one.
says and she like scoots in a little bit.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
I really love
Yes.
some Robert's rules.
Please,
I said it right?
please, yes, Robert's Rule of Law, the newly revised version.
So, okay, so I think we have a lot of good notes, discussion, so we can make those revisions and then just formally vote on them next month, because it'll all be in one piece, because I know you got some stuff over there. And
Yeah, I'll
then-
send those to you so you can. do your
Thanks,
thing.
buddy, I appreciate you. This is my last meeting, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
Well, I
no,
mean, it is,
no,
but,
you haven't
I
been
can
voted out yet.
oh,
They usually have 2 weeks.
dang it,
Ah.
just kidding.
We have a special meeting.
Well, we need to make sure that we have 7 days notice if we do.
All right, so we'll table that. We'll make those additions in the shared folder. And then that way everybody can see it and then we'll have it to vote on. Sound good?
So we're voting on these next month?
Yeah.
Okay, so revisions are basically complete. We'll vote next month.
Yeah, I just figured it'd be good for everybody to be able to say if they had stuff that they felt was kind of important on there.
Board's not gonna be happy.
That's how we roll. We like to keep it interesting. You said you had other business, right?
Yeah, so, the board has requested the superintendent to look into pricing for a new AV system for the board, for
And for new what?
new audiovisual system for the school board. Meeting room,
Why?
I think that the board should wait on moving forward with that until they can demonstrate actual involvement of at least a few people.
I'm feeling really proud of you, Alyssa. Came out of left
So-
field there.
What I'm looking for is for the DAC to get behind that so that we could present it to the board as a recommendation on how to spend the school district's money.
No, I would agree because there is stuff way more important. No
Oh,
offense
That
to
we
that.
have a new system for
Yeah,
Yeah.
Meetings that are attended by 4 people that are required to be there.
yeah.
Yes. 100% agree.
Because if somebody is that upset about what's happening at a board meeting, they're gonna come to the board meeting.
So I just wanted to make sure that people were on board so that way we can present it as a
I would
recommendation
wonder-
from DAC.
I would agree. Ms. Booker? I know she likes it when I put her on the spot too. It's her favorite.
Yes.
Here, Jeff.
I'm sorry, it just glitched. I didn't catch it.
So Jeff said that the superintendent had asked,
Now, the board
the
has
board has asked the superintendent.
to look at pricing for a new audiovisual system for the board. for meetings. So I want us to make a recommendation as DAC to have the board stop consideration of that so they can demonstrate an increased involvement from the community.
Yeah, I
Until
don't-
they can demonstrate what?
Until more people can show up.
Until- Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you want them to wait on that?
Yes.
I don't. think
Yeah, I
we
would
need to
agree.
start Restrict money on that until they have actual involvement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. With what you're saying.
Do we want
Yeah.
to vote on it? I motion that we approve that recommendation to stop consideration for a new AV system.
I'll second that motion. Sorry, I can't keep a straight face if you're clapping.
I know, I'm so sorry. I'm just so happy for you guys. I'm so proud of you guys.
Oh, you're so nice. She even pulled up the list for me, so she knows I'm gonna do it wrong. Okay, Michelle?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Emily, aye. Chelsea?
Aye.
Ms.
She's
Booker?
non-voting.
Aye.
Motion passes, carries, whichever word we'd like. So yes, please present that to the board. Because, yeah, that's, Jeff, I have 2 weeks to pack my life. Are you kidding? I will be there in spirit. I'll listen on my phone.
She'll be there. Yeah. I'll be there. I'll support you. I'll have your back.
Oh, Chelsea really likes going to board meetings too. I'll put that on our calendar. Got you covered.
You and Chuck.
Are we at other business yet?
If it's on my
Yeah,
calendar,
well,
I'll go.
Yes, we started on the-
We did start other business. Is there a phone charger? And I-
Okay, the webmaster was instructed. I know, Emily, you hate it when I say that, but the webmaster was instructed to create different calendars.
Why? Instead of a district one, like a Prairie Heights one and a
We,
high school. Sorry, I
we
couldn't
will-
think of the.
yeah, we will have a district count. You can subscribe to all or just different ones that
Why?
pertain to you, because there's certain things that happen at Prairie Heights that if someone's got I guess a junior, senior high school student, they don't necessarily need to see.
But the problem with that though, like it helps to clarify. So a perfect example was yesterday for PTA. We were talking about our fall festival. Part of the problem is you can't plan a fall festival for Prairie Heights on the same day that they're going to do it at the high school because parents can't. It's not like we're around the corner. That's a 25-minute drive between events. If we have separate calendars, we're creating more work for parents to figure out what's happening with their kids.
Okay. I understand that. I'm doing as or the webmaster's doing as they're instructed. The parents are allowed to subscribe to all the calendars. But some parents, like,
That, so, like that would really irritate me as a parent, just saying, because now we're asking parents to do more work when we're trying to get them to use the website to begin with one calendar, but now we need to have them select which calendars they would like to see and not like to see. Like, I don't get it.
I could take that.
And I know it's not, you're just sharing that piece of it. I don't know how you feel, Jeff, like, or
Putting a secondary calendar on there is pointless.
we have
I understand that some parents might be upset because they have to wade through events for PHE when they're just looking for events at the high school, but
let's be realistic. Let's talk about the calendar for a second, shall we? What's on there? There's 3.5 things on that calendar. So there's nothing really
Not
to
sports sports were on there earlier today. Now they're on the athletics calendar.
That's like, how many calendars
How
are
are we supposed to know then what we're looking at?
Lori,
Is there
how many
master's
different
calendar?
calendars was the webmaster instructed to create?
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have spoken up. Lord heavens. Let's see,
It's gonna, it'll fall
I
into,
want to know how many calendars.
there, okay, so we would have, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, so we would have the district calendar that has like the district information, which would be like days closed, parent teacher conferences or holidays or that sort of thing, first day of school stuff. Then we would have a PHE calendar. Now, when I say this, you're able to subscribe to one calendar and subscribe to a second one. It would be a second layer. And then there would be a junior, senior high school calendar. There would be an activities calendar. There would be an athletics calendar, probably for different sports. Hold on, Emily. We just lost, oh heavens. We just lost someone on Zoom. I think I know why. Yeah, I think I know why. And then we would have a lunch calendar. I'm just relaying what I was asked to do, which, by the way, doing so, I had to put a request into IT because I froze our calendars.
So, I mean, obviously you're gonna have to do what's instructed, like this isn't our wheelhouse, but
How do you define activities versus junior high, elementary school?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, like if you're a PHE, a parent, right? Do you want to see junior, senior high school? I think it's great because we're a small district and you're going to want to go and support your child's future school, right?
well, not only that, but if you've got multiple kids at different schools,
then Mr. Jeff, you will be subscribing to 6 more calendars depending on what your children are involved in. I mean,
okay.
I will say it's a one-time subscription that you have to click on the website.
yeah, but if one parent misses clicking on one of those 6 calendars,
We're good.
they could potentially miss an activity instead of just having the entire calendar on there.
We're trying to drive engagement right now. We're trying to drive
we're supposed to
people.
I apologize. I probably shouldn't have said anything. Maybe Emily and Jeff, maybe that's something you inquire.
No.
I'm just letting you know what I was instructed because I feel that's a very big communication piece And,
Who gave you the instruction? Who gave the webmaster the instruction?
webmaster works for the superintendent.
Okay,
I knew that answer.
so I think that we should bring up to the board.
Yeah, because that,
The superintendent by the board, that is ridiculous. One calendar is fine with the events that we have.
I mean, because like we're just getting back into the swing of
If they
things and
really
people,
want to split it, then take the lunch calendar, which I'm assuming is the menu,
that's always separate anyways.
and make that a separate calendar, but you don't need to have that many calendars that people have to subscribe to. We're trying to make it easier for parents to be involved, and that is ridiculous. Like, that's absolutely outrageous.
What's a fun fact of the day?
Somebody's got to motion it.
Okay, I make a
Happy,
motion.
happy first day of the school year.
Make a motion to request that the board direct the superintendent to.
Or well, to bring it. Well, I don't think we have to make a motion for that, do we? Just to, I think it's in, what, Lori, wouldn't it just be in our, when we're presenting to the board, we can say, hey, in other business, this is something that we discussed and here's what we think about it.
Yes.
Yeah, we strongly feel like this is crazy.
Yeah, I don't think it necessarily.
Oh, now you
Yeah, I
put me
don't
on the
think that
spot.
one's-
I'm just sorry now.
Don't feel bad, Lori. We're
No,
trying to
I
do
mean-
less work.
Yeah.
But I mean, but in all actuality, like we are just getting parents comfortable with the website
Yeah.
and we just changed the whole website. So now to tell them, we want you to push X, Y, and Z to see this, that, or the other thing, like,
And I can hear it right now that a parent is going to miss something and be like, why wasn't that on the calendar? And we'll be like, well, it was on this calendar, not that calendar.
Yeah.
you didn't subscribe to that. And the whole point of us is building a district. So we're not an elementary school versus a high school. That's completely
Correct.
separating us.
Emily, can you do me a favor and check your cell phone before you leave, before Jeff leaves?
What am I checking for? An email, a text message? A text message. I see it. Okay. Oh, whoopsies. I see another text message.
Oh yeah, I kept telling you I had to walk away to get on the phone. I apologize.
No, there's a couple of them that,
But at the last one's most important.
yeah, no, and but I think the whole point of DAC is when stuff like that changes and goes throughout, that it should be discussed because one of the first things in the bylaws is community involvement.
Yeah.
So let's talk about
Absolutely. That's why I brought it up, because I felt like this right now, you guys kind of needed to know exactly what I was asked to do, because
No,
it's
Lori, we definitely appreciate it because that's something that I feel like should have been brought to DAC's attention before it was decided on.
okay.
Somebody-
It affects
Well, not, I mean, DAC or the staff.
Yeah, and
You know
unfortunately,
what I mean? Like
don't.
something.
I can't get direction as webmaster from the DAC, only from the superintendent, so I'll have to wait. But I wanted to let you know that was
But
going on.
no, we're just saying that we would just
We
hope
appreciate
that,
it. Work
yeah.
slow.
Jeff foresees some issues with all those subscriptions coming on there.
I was trying to make it easy, giving you guys a link.
So, no, that's
Okay.
a good one.
We can move on now, right?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, I would say Carol, that would be a great first start. Yeah, I would rock a PhD sweatshirt in Florida, or a t-shirt maybe. Does it get cold enough? I don't know. I don't know about life.
Depends on where it's going.
I'll put my top wasp on the back. That'll be my
In
name.
2 weeks, you're gonna melt.
Oh, Michelle, did you show Emily the graphic?
No, I haven't shown them yet. Nope. but I
Okay,
will.
she can proof it also, because I don't know if the wording's right, but I did look into printing. It's gonna be so super cheap. It's great.
But, because we got the bikes. This is.
I feel like after this year of bikes, we're not having more kids to get bikes.
No, there will be.
Are you confused about your life?
because clearly there's only
He was
136 kids, so,
Only.
So half of them are gonna get places.
and then next year there's another 50.
And then next year, the other
Oh, that's
half.
kind of cool though. When you said graphic, I was thinking it was gonna be like a hornet that goes on the bike, like one of those stickers, you know?
Yeah.
That'd be cool, right?
Oh my gosh, Triple A, you're cracking me up. We could, I mean, we could put like Hanover School District 28 on there or Prairie Heights.
Well, no, we need a top wash for Chelsea.
Top was. She does need top was. Chelsea is the top was.
Yeah, saying I have a little bit of a bite to me, sure.
You do, that is
Sorry.
totally true. I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
Oh, no. Right.
Well, that was fun. So anybody have any other business?
Some things that Chuck has said after we met last time have stewed in my brain a little bit, but I don't know if that's appropriate for DAC.
Oh. Ms. Booker, do you have any other business for us today?
Nope.
Sorry, I put you on the spot 7 times.
Oh, that's okay.
We already did yours, just kidding. I was like, Jeff, do you have one? Yeah, we motioned on everything. Just a few. Michelle. So I just want to say thank you to you guys. I really do appreciate the support, especially since I'm very scatterbrained and you guys kind of help keep me full circle. So thank you. And I really do look forward to listening in Florida to see what kinds of things happen, because it'll be a good year.
Motion to end.
Yep. And I'll second it. Am I allowed to?
Yes.
Oh yeah, hold on.
I do
Oh,
hope to see you
too
next
soon.
week, next month, though. I do hope to see you. Sadly, I'm kind of being, stingy.
Well, I mean, it's probably be living in that camper, but I can
My cousins.
just say that's the story of my life. I told Michelle my kids are gonna have to check the homeless box again for a little bit. It's terrible.
It's been first, it's been second in.
All right, Chelsea's telling me to shut up. Motion to adjourn, Michelle.
Aye.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Adjourned.
There you go.
I forgot that.
Notes, right, so that I can record.
Yes.